October, and as everybody knows, this is prime time to catch big, quality river smallmouth. And so far, things have been working fantastic, considered it's a little different. But you know what? Every year is different. The different thing about this year is we've had warmer than normal weather, which means the water temperature is above normal for this time of year. I mean, it's still relatively cool. It's 60 degrees. Sometimes in the morning you come out, it's 59, 58. But at this time of year, it should be down into the mid 50s or even low 50s. Needless to say, I've been pounding a lot of smallmouth with a combination of either soft plastic jerkbaits or swim baits. Which is better? I don't know. It varies from day to day. So have a good supply of both. Let's talk a little bit about the soft plastic jerkbaits. I'll get to the swim baits another time. My primary go-to bait, soft plastic jerkbait, is this right here. It's a case sinking salted shad. I've caught more smallmouth with this so far this year than I have with the swim baits, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we're dealing with a little warmer water than normal. I start out with a 5-inch bait. Very important, your choice of hook. Right here, Spearpoint 4-aught hook with their patented V-grip. You get that V-grip, and guess what? You don't lose any smallmouth. I'm going to say none, but I think this fall I've lost 2 or 3, and we've caught several hundred of them. Lose 2 or 3 fish. If I was using a typical wide gap hook, I'd have probably lost maybe 50 or 60 or maybe more, and probably that 6-pounder that you've been looking for. But these hooks are just dynamite. They catch a lot of fish, and you match it with this case sinking salty shad, and you got a winning combination. How do I work this bait? It depends on the type of cover I'm fishing. If I'm fishing a lot of wood, which I do in the fall, you know, river wood, sometimes them smallmouth hold real tight into that wood. Just like when I was fishing topwater baits. I got to aggravate them a little bit. I got to turn them on. So I pitch close to wood. I pop, 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 pop. I'm really some vigorous jerks. And after I get to the end of the wood, if I don't get any strikes, I let this soft plastic jerkbait and these case sinking salty shads loaded with salt, I get it to sink pretty good. And many times I pause, count to 1, 2, 3, 4, I got a fish. If I'd have kept pulling it away, maybe that fish wouldn't have come out of the wood. If I get a tight, tough bite and nothing seems to be working, all I do is I downsize, just like when I'm fishing topwater baits. I'm always downsizing if I get a tough day. But I got right here, this is the 3.5-inch case sinking salted minnow. Got a little smaller hook here. I've got the Spearpoint 2-aught hook. Combine this, what this bait allows me to do is finesse it even more. I'll still work it, I'll still work it real vigorously around the wood, but I also let it sink, and I could get this bait, sometimes I'll let it sink down 3, even 4 feet, and many times it's amazing on that river, you get these fish coming from underneath that wood to hit when the conditions are slow. My favorite rod here when I'm using the small minnow, this is a Grant Cuda 7-foot medium action rod. I don't need a medium heavy. I got a little smaller bait here. It has a nice tip. I can feel every strike. And when I go set the hook, when you get a little lightest little tap, right? You don't know if it's a 15-inch smallmouth or a 21-inch smallmouth. So you make sure you got a rod you can get a good hook set on and land a fish. And it's hard to beat a Grant Cuda rod.